Alright, so I've been wanting to do this video for a while now. Basically, it's about when I was going through the evaluation of working at Amazon. As you can see, I got my Amazon shirt on. What happened when the trainer pulled up on me when I was still in a 2-week evaluation? This was in the middle of my second week by myself. The trainer, it's funny because Amazon dispatch sends you all throughout like country places, country farmyards, country farmlands, or whatever. You know, they send you way like an hour and a half away to make these deliveries, because these country folks don't have access to a Walmart or like a dollar store, and it makes sense as to why they're ordering what they order. I was delivering toilets, like actual full-blown toilets in a toilet box. I delivered bicycles. I delivered, like, in a box, brand new toilets, bicycles, hell, even a television. I delivered like a 50-inch television. Anything you can possibly think of. The only thing I didn't deliver was a car. But I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon steps in that direction, because why not? You're gonna make money. You're gonna make even more money that way, Bezos. But when the trainer did pull up on me, and he wanted to show me, because I was in the city, I was delivering in the city for the first time, and it was funny to me because when I, like, midway through the day, it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was hot. I was sweating, like I was drenched in sweat. And the only time I wouldn't sweat was when I started moving around, because the itty-bitty breeze that was around was just keeping me cool. But I remember pulling up to the delivery, to the house, the residence, and I had a deliver right across the street from each other. They call that group packaging or whatever, group deliveries at Amazon. And when I got to that stop, it's funny because as I was parking, another Amazon white van was parking across the street, like right in front of me. And I recognized it. I was like, that's an Amazon van. And I was by myself. I was just sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, what? Why are they making us deliver two Amazon delivery drivers in the same, like, right across the street from each other? It doesn't make any sense. and then it was a dispatch head trainer that came up on me. And then what he ended up doing was, when I got done with the two deliveries actually, he was like, hey, come here. And I was like, all right. And, you know, me being new, I'm like, oh damn, I don't know what's going on. Are they gonna fire me? And then, so he pulls me in. I'm sitting here, like I said, I'm sitting here drenched in sweat, just sweating. Like, I can't stop wiping the sweat off my forehead because I'm just sitting here. It was hot. And I wanted to ask him if he can, like, go to the store and get me some water. I was like, man, I wonder if he's checking on me to see if I'm all right, if I'm hydrated, because it was hot that day. It was hot. So he's like, get in the van. I'm not gonna hold you for too long. It's only gonna take a few minutes. So I jump in the van, and then I'm sitting down, and then he pulls up a folder. And then in that folder, it had my name. And he said, this is your evaluation or whatever it is, you know, just every 2 weeks you're going to get coached up, or you're going to see how you're doing at this job for the first 6 weeks of the job. So then he shows me EOC or something like that, engine off, or so, like, basically when you turn your engine off, every single time they're tracking that. They got everything inside those vehicles completely tracked. They got trackers on the emergency brake, on the seat belts, on the ignition, how hard you're hitting the brakes, how fast you're going, anything you could possibly think of. They got sensors inside of those vehicles, so they're just on top of it. They are on top. They even got cameras inside of those vehicles too. So basically, they say you're working by yourself out there on the road and all. Yeah, you're by yourself. You're one person in that vehicle, but at the same time, you're being watched, and you're being everything. Seat belts, how much you weigh is on the passenger seat too. On the passenger seat, if you got like a few boxes that make it feel like there's a person on there, they're gonna get alerted that somebody's in that van too. So you got to put the seatbelt on, so that way in case you do got to put a couple of your delivery boxes right there on the seat, it won't set the alert or alarm off on them like, hey, somebody's joyriding with them, which makes no sense, you know. But when he pulled me into the vehicle, he showed me the paper, how many times I was turning off the engine at every delivery. I was doing 100% on that. How many times I put my seatbelt on and off. I was 100% on that. He said that everything was looking really good. I had one distraction, and I asked him, I was like, how did I have a distracted driver? Like, how was I distracted? What did I do? I don't ever look at my phone because I'm like I've been mentally training myself for this type of job. Like, I don't look at my phone unless it's like an absolute emergency or whatever, you know what I mean? And then so he's like, well, when you put the phone up, because what we do is those phones, those Amazon phones that you scan and all that, and you see every Amazon delivery driver walking around with, they got magnets on the back, like magnet plates on the back of the phones, and then basically you put it on that magnetized phone holder, and as soon as it goes on that phone holder, if you hit start travel for your delivery, so that way you're on your way to your next delivery, if you touch that phone, that's counted as a distraction. So if you're at a red light and you want to zoom out so that way you can see how far away your next few stops are, that's a distraction right there. So I got hit with one of those. And then here's the one that got me. Here's the one that kind of irritated my soul. They want you to average, when you first started at Amazon, this is what he showed me. They wanted me or everybody that was new to average about 12 deliveries per hour. And I was averaging about 10 deliveries per hour. And these 10 deliveries per hour, I know it doesn't sound like much. It sounds like, dang, what's this guy doing? They were sending me out to these country deliveries. They were sending me out where every stop was like 6 to 7 minutes, 4 to 7 minutes apart from each other. And then you got to think, shutting the engine on and off, and then putting the seatbelts on and off, putting the emergency brake on and off at every single stop, and then going and grabbing the package. It tells you on the phone, like, go grab whatever number, like 572 or 582, G582 or whatever. It's an envelope. Go look at it. And then you got this big old pile of envelopes, and then you got this big old pile of loose boxes, and then you got overflow. So you're sitting here having to search for this and that, and meanwhile every stop is like 5 to 10 minutes apart from each other, and you're new to the company. But then when I was in the city, I was knocking out like 17 deliveries per hour, right? And which is pretty good for a new guy. But he was just like, we need you to step it up. He didn't say it like that, but he basically said it on the lines of you need to step it up. We want to see 12 deliveries per hour. And I was sitting there just like wiping the sweat off, like I was saying. And then I moved my leg a little bit, right? I moved my leg a little bit, and then there was like sweat marks all on that leather seat because I was sweating that bad. It was going through my shorts. Like the sweat was going through my shorts into the seats. And I was like, damn, I'm really sweating that bad. And then he had the nerve to ask me how I'm doing out there. I just looked at him. I was like, I'm just getting used to it, man. I'm getting used to it. Muscle memory is the main thing, the key thing. Once you get the muscle memory down, and then you start getting good at this job, because then it's like, but really, like, why do I want to get the muscle memory of putting the seatbelt on at every single stop? I've never heard of that. And then, bro, like in one of my previous videos, they want you to, like, if you guys pay here, let me show you. Like right here, okay, look, you see where that stop sign is at, right? You see where it's at? They want you to stop where that stop sign is at, but the bumper to the vehicle, let's see if this truck does it. Let's see. If this truck does this right here, watch, let me see. Nope, that would be counted as he didn't get the job done, because he passed the stop sign, the bumper. You see how he did it? He stopped at the very end like a normal person would, a normal of the street, and then finally make the turn. Did at Amazon, they want you to stop at that stop sign. They want you to stop at the stop sign. The bumper cannot pass that stop sign. And then once you pass that stop sign with the bumper, then you have to do what that person just did. Then you have to stop at the very end of the block. So you got to make two stops at every single stop sign. But I never heard of something more cringe than that in my life. Like, Amazon's really going, they're just any way they can possibly make anybody's FICO scores, because that's all it is a FICO score. The FICO score is basically everything at Amazon for delivery drivers and dispatch. They have so many petty stipulations, so many petty agreements to that job that it's unrealistic, bro. It's just, and then on top of having to be doing those double stops, you got to put the seatbelts on and off at every single stop, and then you got to look for the package, and then you got to do the emergency brake, then you got to put your hazard lights on. Bro, it's ridiculous. And then they don't want you to pull into a driveway. So like for me, let me zoom out, or zoom, yeah. Like for a delivery, you can't come up a driveway. They don't want you to come up a driveway. They want you to park out in the street. But what happens when the street is full? In the training videos, you know what they tell you to do? You got to park at least a football field away, which is like seven vehicles from the delivery point. So you got to park like basically a half block away. But they do not like that. They don't ticket you, but they point you. They give you points for reversing. My trainer, the head trainer, was telling me that he got pointed. They gave him points against his FICO score because he reversed too much. He said he told me, he was like, I went like 55 miles per hour in reverse in this country driveway. Like 55 miles an hour going in reverse. He's like, they didn't even point me for that. They pointed me because I went too far in reverse. Like too long of a distance in reverse gets you points. So you got so much mentally to think about while you're driving. It's not just, you know, you just hop in this vehicle and then you go make a delivery and then you just get back in and out. You can't leave the vehicle running because then they feel like that's a theft. I get it. Turning the vehicle off, that makes sense because there's like computers and all kinds of stuff in those Amazon trucks and all that, but you know, it's just overwhelming after a while mentally, and it's just not like a normal delivery job. I'm not sure how they do it at FedEx or UPS, but at Amazon it's just crazy. So he showed me, back to the dispatch guy, he showed me everything that I was doing, seat belts, you know, brakes, speeding, engine on and off at every stop, pace of deliveries. What else did he show me? He showed me all kinds of like statistics that they were keeping track on every single driver, and I was just sitting here like, damn. And then what I was thinking to myself, well, it's not just thinking, it's reality, it's a fact. They want you, they'll push you to making 12 deliveries to when you first start. They're like, we need 12 deliveries per hour, and then when you reach that goal, I'm pretty sure this is what they're going to tell you to do next. We need you to hit 15 deliveries, and then once you hit 15, they're going to be like, why stop at 15, go to 20, and then they keep pushing you to get, they call it to be a better driver and all that bull crap, bro. All they're trying to do, and then they're going to throw like 20 cents of a raise or whatever the case may be. The head trainer told me that he's not allowed to tell me how much he was making for becoming a trainer, delivery trainer or whatever, head trainer. He said he barely made anything for a raise. He said it's itty bitty. So he was aiming to become a dispatch manager, whatever the position is. So they don't pay you jack squat, not for the type of work you're doing. And on top of that, when you're done with your delivery routes, the route that was given to you at the beginning of your shift, like 150, anywhere from 150 to 200 deliveries per day. If you get really good at that job, then all they're gonna do is just slam you with more deliveries. And a lot of those experienced drivers, and I say this with caution, those experienced drivers have only been working there for like about a year, if that. I'm talking about experienced at Amazon as a delivery driver is like about 5 months, and then by that time everybody just wants out of that company because of everything that you have to do, and it's just not worth it. It's just not worth working at Amazon, because then when you get done with those 150 to 200 deliveries a day, they add another like 2 totes, and each tote has a whole bunch of envelopes, a whole bunch of like mini boxes and all that, and each one of those envelopes could account for each delivery, for like per delivery. So if you have like 30 envelopes, it could be 30 deliveries. And then if you got like 30 envelopes and then you got like 10 boxes in there, that's like 40 stops right there. And then you got to do the process: seatbelt on and off, turn the car on and off, emergency brake on and off. And then you got to look for the product, and then you got to go and walk it, or not walk it. You can't walk. You got to run it up to the steps and take a picture. You have to take a picture, and they do not want you to be a part of the picture. You cannot have a shadow. You can have a shadow from the summer shadows or the day shadow in the picture. They don't want any human body parts showing. So if like there's a customer that's like stepping out and their foot or their hand is in the picture, you have to retake the picture because they do not want anything like that. And then yeah, it's just so much mental. It's such a mental stress. It's a stressful job, mentally stressful. Honestly, that's just a band-aid job. Band-aid, like a band-aid. That's like a link, a bridged band-aid for like when you're quitting a job and that you can't stand, or that you've had enough of, and then you just need an outlet for a little bit, and then you're thinking about Amazon. You can work for Amazon. They'll hire you. They'll hire anybody, but just remember those stipulations will, you'll learn all about them stipulations. You'll learn all about them stipulations. And so yeah, that's just like one of those band-aid bridge jobs where when you want to leave a job, you can go to Amazon because they're going to hire just about anybody. As long as you got a clean driving record, you're good to go. And then like I would only recommend that job for like a month max. So just put up with it for like about a month. Anything more than that, I feel like you're gonna end up hating life, and you can't even enjoy your days off. You can't enjoy your days off. I was just sitting there on my days off, like as soon as I made it home, I'd be happy for the night. And then as soon as I would wake up at like whatever time it was, let's say like 9:30 in the morning or something like that. And then I would just look at the clock on my phone, and then the process would start. The depressing process would start. I'd be like, damn, it's 9:30. In about like 12 hours, it's gonna be 9:30 at night, and I might have to go to sleep, and then I might have to, wake up at this time tomorrow, if not earlier, of course earlier, and do it all over again. So it's like every single time I do something, I'm like, damn, I'm one step closer, 1 second closer, 1 minute closer to getting back to work. And when you start thinking like that, when you can't enjoy time with the family and your day off, I don't think that type of job is worth it. They're like, you can make so much money at Amazon, but at the same time, when you start thinking like that, that is extremely depressing, and it is not worth it. And no money is worth that type of mental stress. When you're just sitting there thinking about work and how you're going to be at work and at this exact same time tomorrow, bro, you're headed towards a downhill of nothing but depression, anxiety, high blood pressure. You're headed down the bad roads. No, I would not recommend that job at all. I would much rather be a dishwasher making minimum wage than to work at Amazon. A dishwasher over Amazon driver is so much better, I think, because you're just standing there washing dishes, scrubbing. Yeah, the job sucks, and you go home smelling like work water, whatever, restaurant dirty water, whatever. But that's it. You're just in the one spot. You don't have to sit there, and you don't have to keep putting seatbelts on and off. You don't have to sit there and worry about the pace of it all. Of course, you got to worry about your pace. You don't want to be super slow washing dishes and all that, but at the same time, you're in one spot. You're not going to be moving like miles and miles away from each other, and then you got to make like 30 deliveries an hour and all that. Like, no, screw that. I'd much rather be a dishwasher at this point in my life over an Amazon delivery driver. That's just the reality of it. And yeah, I would have to say Amazon is probably one of the bottom five worst jobs that I've ever had since I started working. And that's saying a lot, because I used to work for like Easter Seals. It's this company that's like the Salvation Army, where they go around picking up deliveries or donations from people. And I got to make a video on that one too, let you guys know what those people go through, because that job, Easter Seals and Salvation Army, the stuff that those people go through is unreal, bro. unreal. I really want to talk about it right now since I'm feeling it right now, and I feel like I'm in the mood to just like nail these companies, man. There should be laws against these trash companies that overwork their employees and underpay them and expect so much out of these people that are just trying to pay their bills. You know, they just want to just pay their bills, but these companies don't pay them enough so they can keep coming back. So that way they can keep getting tortured. And then what ends up happening when you get older, you know, when you get older, your body starts breaking down. You're going to start needing surgery. You never know if somebody's going to have a heart attack, an aneurysm, or anything like that. And what does a family do? Because these companies are so greedy and so selfish that they don't want to pay these people to live a pretty decent life. They want to keep them right where they're at. You know, it doesn't make sense how in the 90s and 1990s, making close to $20 an hour, you were living the life. In 2023, making almost $20 an hour, you'll be lucky to pay rent. Now, I don't know what went wrong. You guys can talk about the politics and all that, but I don't really like talking about politics, because I think politics are like a huge divider in society, and it's just like you got one side versus the other side, and they're both crooked as crap. But it's just crazy how these companies just overwork you and underpay you severely, like. And then in order for you to make a pretty good living, you got to sacrifice even more time by going into overtime, by working overtime, and then like that you finally have some okay money. Well, by the time you get your paycheck, you're so mentally drained and so physically drained that you don't even want to go out and enjoy your days off, because you're so beat up from the day's work, from the days leading up to that of work. So yeah, I do not recommend Amazon to anybody. The lead trainer, last one before I let you guys go, the lead trainer, the guy that was training me, his name was Dan. I don't know what his last name was, but his name was Dan, right? He had a real bad tooth. Like, all his teeth were growing normal, and then he had like an extra tooth behind his front tooth, and it was like a pointy one. Every time he would talk, I would have to look away, because I just keep thinking about how every time he was eating something, I bet you that he was biting on his tongue, like it's just crazy. But he when he told me how long he was working there, when I asked him, when I first talked to him, I was like, so how long have you been working here, Dan? He's like, I've been here for a while. I was like, oh wow. And I was expecting him to say something along the lines of like 2 to 3 years, maybe 4 years. And then this dude said, I've been working here for almost about a year. Man, and that dude was a seasoned vet. Like, that's what you expect out of them type of companies. Not me, and not you. I hope that you guys don't have to work for Amazon Prime. I hope. Just remember, if you're thinking about working at Amazon, you're gonna have to do those double stops at every single stop sign. They got eyes everywhere. They got the eye in the sky. You're gonna have to do those double stops. And then at every single delivery stop that you make, 150 stops, seatbelt on and off. So you're gonna click your seatbelt on and off 300 times. If you get 150 deliveries, you're gonna put the emergency brake on and off 300 times. Hazard lights 300 times. Bro, think about it. That's 900 things you gotta think about mentally. That's 900 little things that you have to mentally prepare yourself throughout the day. If you have 150, 900 things that your mind has to process throughout the day. You're telling me you're not going to be mentally drained? And then you got to take pictures at every stop and make sure you're not in the shadow, like, or in the reflection of a door that has glass. You got to like move so that way you're not seen. Like, that again, that's 300 more, 150 more things right there. That's over a thousand things you got to do in one day's work if you get 150 stops. Think about it like that. Nah, I'm not. I'm good. I'm done with Amazon. I start my new job on Wednesday. It's gonna be home. I'm gonna be moving homes from basically the city that I'm in. I'm gonna go in with the crew that I'm working with, and we're gonna go in there. We're gonna safely remove all their stuff into like shipping containers, semis, and all that. And we're gonna sit there and it's time consuming and all that, but we don't gotta sit there and do that bull crap that they do at Amazon. And I'm gonna be making more money too. So I mean, hopefully this job works out. Hopefully it does. They're saying I can get my CDLAs with the company with no contract signed or anything like that, which if this company treats me well and appreciates my time and all that, then I'll stick around. And you know, they offer the owner's operator license and all that, so good things come to those who wait. I'm at the point of life where I don't want to work these Amazon, UPS, FedEx type of jobs. Like, I'm tired of dealing with these little never gonna make it in life type deals where we're only gonna be good enough to make the monthly rent, and then if something happens to us, if we're not saving money up, which nowadays, how can you save money up? You know, if we don't have money stashed away somehow, some way, we're screwed, because bills are gonna keep coming, rent's gonna keep coming, mortgages gonna keep coming, car payments, all that stuff's gonna keep coming. So I want a real job, and I encourage everybody out there to do what I didn't do because I was dumb. Go and get your CDL license. I know it's expensive, but look for companies that pay for you to like be there for 3 years or whatever, and get that CDLA license. Get a forklifting license. Don't do what I did. Forklifting license, those guys make pretty good money. And CDLAs, if you guys don't want to go to college, go get your CDLAs. Be an over-the-road truck driver, whatever it is you got to do. Just make sure that you're aiming for some big money. Stop with these 9-to-5 jobs like Amazon and all these jobs that don't pay you nothing. But that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the journey. My little 1-month journey, 3-week journey at Amazon. It was a blast doing these videos.